Welcome back. We've all no doubt felt the sting of higher energy bills during this very cold winter so far, but there is a program that can help. It's called the Massachusetts Good Neighbor Energy Fund, and Priscilla Ress from Eversource is joining us today to tell us a little bit more about it. So Priscilla, thank you so much, first of all, for spending some time with us. We appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about this.
Joe, thank you. And what a perfect day to do this. I mean, just listening to your weather forecast has me running for the sweaters. It has been a bitter, bitter cold winter. You don't have to tell the folks in Quincy that, because when you live near the shore, of course, you are exposed more to those elements that make it even colder, even harder to heat your home. And that's what the Good Neighbor Energy Fund is about. Let me backtrack and tell you a little bit about the program. It's been around for a while, since the 80s, since we had actually it was the recession that really kicked this program off and said, what kind of help can we offer to our customers who don't qualify for heating assistance, for instance, but may run into a financial crisis? I mean, I know that you're probably a lot like me, that every time you hear about layoffs in an industry, or you've got a lot of seasonal workers, there are people that hit a time of financial roadblock. They will, it's a crisis that they really aren't prepared for. And this is a difficult time. This is sort of the dead of winter. And what drives those bills up is that brutal cold. And you have to, it's not a luxury item here in New England to have your heat on. You have to keep the heat on. And even if you don't crank that thermostat, it still takes, you still have to keep your home comfortable, or at least, keep it warm enough that your pipes don't freeze. So this is the time of year where we are going to see and are seeing an uptick in need. That's what the Good Neighbor Energy Fund is. It's designed to help people who are dealing with a financial crisis, who it's almost like a bridge loan. It will pay off one of your utility bills, whatever one you choose. Doesn't have to be your electric, doesn't have to be your gas, doesn't have to be your Eversource bill, but you can choose who are you going to pay to sort of help you over that hurdle, to get things back under control. That's sort of the point of this, is for, when things seem like they're spiraling out of control, we're here to tell you that there is help available. The Good Neighbor Energy Fund. And then what we're also asking is for people to donate if they can. This is sort of the time of year when we're sort of past, it's like what you do when you pass the basket. Everybody, throwing in a couple of bucks to help out as they can. If you look at your, when your Eversource bill comes in, I know mine comes in online, and there's a place where I can just click it and say, I would like to donate to the Good Neighbor Energy Fund. And that's how we create this fund and how we keep it funded throughout. I mean, as long as the fund stays active, as long as there is money in the pot.
I understand it. It's a consortium of several different utility companies. Is that right? That all kind of contribute to the pot?
Yes, it is. So that's also, but it's run by the Salvation Army. We sort of keep that arm's length from the actual donations, and it's run by the Salvation Army. And what it also does, it's sort of a holistic approach, if you will. It's run through the Salvation Army. So if you were running into that sort of a financial crisis, and you say, I'm going to use this, I qualify for, I would like to use the Good Neighbor Energy Fund. I can also, once you go and get to the people in the Salvation Army, they have programs that they can also connect you with. Eversource has a myriad of programs that we can connect you with. If you are having financial difficulties, there are programs that you can use, first of all, to help you financially, but also, as importantly, I believe, is we have programs across the board. We have programs that our customers are already paying for, and that is energy efficiency, how you're using your energy. So I'll take you back to where I started originally, which is if you're in Quincy and you're feeling that wind rattling your windows and coming in under the doors, even if you set your thermostat at a steady 65, 68, you are still using more energy to keep the house warm because you're battling, you are battling those elements. So what a no-cost home energy assessment does, we come in and we look at your home top to bottom. We're in the roof, how's the insulation? We're in the basement. Where are you? Where do you have windows leaking, or perhaps light bulbs that aren't LED bulbs that you're leaving on that are also drawing power? Are there programs that can help you, rebates, incentives? I think there's one that's called the Heat Loan Program. The Heat Loan Program is where you can get loans that are no interest loans to get your house tightened up, buttoned up, because that's the key. And the challenge, of course, of living in New England, and especially along the coast, your house is constantly settling. One day it's fine, and the next day you start to feel those drafts coming in. That's why that home energy assessment is so key. They also start to look at things like your appliances. They'll tell you, are your appliances running efficiently? And if not, what can we do to help? Where are there incentives to get efficient appliances into your home? What do you qualify for? What can we help with? We also have at the ready, we have our customer service representatives. These are people who are trained to help, and that's what they're there for. Call those representatives and say, look, I need some help. I need some guidance. I know a lot of people, including myself, look at something like budget billing. Budget billing says, rather than you just reacting and responding to a bill that comes in and not having budgeted for it, it spreads out the cost over the 12 months. So sometimes that can help defray and also help, take the sting out of what's really been a brutal winter.
Yeah, it has definitely been below normal for sure. And I just wanted to give folks because there are some income eligibility guidelines to qualify for the Good Neighbor Energy Fund. They're pretty generous actually, and they've gone up a little bit for this current season. But for instance, for a family of a family of four, total gross yearly income to be eligible to receive assistance from this fund is between $94,000 and $126,000 annually. That's for a family of four. So that's pretty generous, and that, as I said, that has gone up. And it's a one-time benefit, though. Is that right? One time per season.
One time, one bill, get it off your ledger.
Right.
And but it also helps you to say, okay, that's off my ledger. Now it gives me a chance to breathe. It gives me a chance to look at what am I going to do to get to control the energy costs the best that you can. Again, I go back to that home energy assessment, no cost, and you will see the difference immediately. I mean, I've worked with some people who have had the home energy assessment. I've worked with small businesses. For instance, we retrofitted an animal shelter, one of the biggest in the Commonwealth, and they called afterwards and said, "I'm looking at the bills, and something must be wrong because the bills have dropped precipitously." That's a good word, huh? So they have dropped significantly, and they were wondering if there was there some sort of was it right? Was it correct? And the answer is yes. You do see the benefits immediately. Again, one of the immediate benefits of Good Neighbor Energy Fund is you will start to see, you will start to take control of these bills, and also start to get connected with people, get connected with the experts that can help you make it manageable. Again, as we were just talking, it's not a luxury here in New England, and we really need each other. So that's why it's called the Good Neighbor Energy Fund.
Right.
And I think one of their taglines is you're giving the gift of warmth. And I think that's something that, especially on a day like today, we really can all relate to.
Sure. And to apply, Priscilla, it's strictly through the Salvation Army. Is that right? You do not deal with the utilities at all?
No, you don't. But again, if you call us and you have questions, we will also, start to steer you towards how do you sign up for that and any other help that we can offer folks.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out too that it's not just homeowners; it can be renters as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Renters, small businesses, And the programs are also developing. I understand that there's also some good things on the horizon that are going to make that home energy assessment even easier. And the fact that there are openings right now is, I think it's incredible. Take advantage, jump in there, and get your name on the list and get those experts out there, because they can also, right on the spot, they do things where they will do spot sealing. Sealing with an S, meaning that they can actually seal up a door. I had it where I didn't realize there was cold air that was coming through a joint in my a connection in one of my walls that wasn't properly insulated, so there was cold air coming in through there. There's a help. And when you see this kind of wind and you see this kind of cold, you really want to do everything you can to use every energy penny wisely.
Yeah, it does make a difference for sure. Electrical receptacles, outlets are another common leaky spot for drafts as well that people don't realize. And they can make a difference for sure if water stripping and caulking. Yeah. The benefit, Priscilla, do you know how much it is for this season?
I believe it's around 4. You would have to look at your notes because I took my glasses off.
I didn't have that. That was the one thing I didn't have, but I know it was 400 last year.
It is around the same amount of money.
Okay.
It is about the same benefit, and again, it is substantial enough to make a difference in getting your bills down, in getting them under control.
Right.
So, and again, you choose the energy bill that you would like to pay, and you do this through the guidance and the help of the Salvation Army.
Okay.
Another good group of folks, and another group that can start to help you. These financial bumps in the road, sometimes we're optimistic and think it's just a one-time thing, and sometimes they have a way of dragging out, and you want to plan for that. I don't wish that on anybody, but you want to be sure that you say, something, I am going to start to take a hard look at where I'm spending my energy dollars.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out too, it's for energy, right? You can't pay your cable bill with it or your credit card. It's for an energy related bill. Is that right?
It is an energy related bill, and again, it is to help you get those energy costs under control enough, that breathing room, so you can start to look at the more holistic approach, which is, I've got to get some of these leaks sealed up, and some of the ones you don't, and that's why it's nice to have an expert come in, because they will show you things you don't even think about. And that's the cold air that comes in through the floorboards, it's coming in through the basement, or you thought that the upstairs is insulated, but that insulation really needs to be brought up to date. This is all something that an expert can do. At my age, I'm not climbing up into the attic, so it's good to have the experts. And I think you will find afterwards it's actually you feel pretty good when you've actually done it, and you look around and you actually see the results.
The payment itself goes directly to the utility. Is that right?
Correct.
The customer never gets a check.
No.
Okay.
No, it goes directly. That's directly to the utility through the Salvation Army.
Right, exactly. And if you've received a benefit in the past, are you eligible to receive it again? Do you know, Priscilla?
Absolutely.
You are?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if you, I was talking about paying online. If you get your bill through the mail and you see that green envelope, there's a mint green envelope in there that's also for the folks that like to, actually put a check in the mail physically and know, and have that moment too where you look and you say, I just did a good thing. So, there's also, that is included in your bill. So, and again, it's one of those things where if you can help, it's nice to help. And there are also people who have had the benefit of the Good Neighbor Energy Fund who have actually told me, I really feel good about the fact that it was there for me. And I also feel really good about being able to, give somebody else a hand when they're struggling. And wintertime is such a miserable time to be struggling too.
Yes.
It feels like it's that everything's sort of piling on. And we want to say that as good neighbors, we can, help alleviate some of that burden, and certainly hope too that you get in touch with us as well, because we are there to help, and we want people to know that we are in it with you. So together we can make a difference here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the donations are also tax deductible. It's a nonprofit entity, so there's that as well. So you could benefit from that, as well as helping your neighbor at the same time too. So there's a consideration as well. Do you know how much the total fund consists of, Priscilla?
I don't know what's in the fund at this
Okay.
time. I do know that the fund continue. The more you donate, the longer the fund runs, the more people you can
Yes.
help.
Yep.
So hopefully this is something that we run it. That it stays active, especially through this miserable winter, and it goes into sometimes into the spring. We've
Yep.
seen it run into the summertime. So we hope that this is something that becomes sort of a regular habit. While I'm paying my bill, I throw a couple of dollars into the pot and help a neighbor who may be struggling.
Yeah.
And you don't know when your neighbor's struggling. There's a lot of us out there that sometimes you hit that obstacle, and people around you don't really know that you're struggling, and that's why it's nice to have a fund where people can go and get some help.
Yeah, well, I know in this winter especially, some energy costs have gone up 25% or more. Part of that is for the Mass Save program, I know, as well. So that's at the state level, but it's impacting local folks as well. So
And some rates at the same time have gone down. I mean, the electric
Yep.
rate is actually lower than it's been something like in 4 winters.
Yeah.
But when you're using as much power as is needed to reasonably keep a house comfortable, that's driving those bills up. So be aware, and that's why I am suggesting that no cost home energy assessment is key, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I've had the same question. I haven't done anything different, and yet the bills are higher.
Right.
Well, it's okay. So where am I using it? Let's get to the root of where I'm using all of this energy. Plus, also go online to our website and look for energy efficiency tips. They're terrific. I mean, things where I went, oh yeah, that is a good idea. I should. Simple things like keep the ducts clean, to be sure that you're pulling the curtains at night and blocking out that cold, and letting the sun in.
Yep.
Although I don't.
Programmable thermostats are a great feature as well, to regulate your heating only when you need it, so that helps too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Priscilla, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. You've got some good information out, and hopefully we've been able to help folks learn more about the Good Neighbor Energy Fund.
No, I think you really have helped, and we really appreciate that. And I'm sure that people watching this will go, ooh, I qualify. I'm sure that they appreciate it as well. So let's just keep up the good work and keep dropping those dollars into the Good Neighbor Energy Fund. And thanks again.
You're very welcome, and thank you.